Here's number 2 on the graphing side of the worksheet. We have our two equations. The first one is in standard form. So option 1, like we've been talking about, is if it's in standard form, then the quickest way to graph it is to plug in zeros. Make x 0. 8 times 0 minus y equals 6. That disappears. Be careful here. We're not solving for negative y, we're solving for y. So this is the situation where we remember that there's an invisible 1 sitting here. And so when we read this, it reads negative 1 times y, and the opposite of that is to divide by negative 1. So y turns out to be negative 6. So there's our y-intercept. Do the same thing for x. Take my equation, except I plug a 0 in for x. So 8x, plug a 0 in for y, minus 0 equals 6. The minus 0 disappears. We get 8x equals 6. Divide by 8, we get 3/4. Okay. So our y-intercept is negative 6. Our x-intercept is 3/4. Okay. Option 2, though, for those of you that wanted to focus on just slope-intercept, here they took y, tacked on this minus sign, basically multiplying by negative 1, and then added on this 8x. So the way we would undo this is we would subtract 8x from both sides. We get negative y equals 6 minus 8x. Again, invisible 1. So we would divide by negative 1. So y equals 6 divided by negative 1 is negative 6. This minus and this negative will cancel, become a plus, and 8x over 1 just be 8x. Okay. Now, either way we graph this, with slope-intercept or standard form, we should get the same thing. So let's go to the graph. So here's our graph. And if I do standard form, once again, the y-intercept was negative 6, which means I would put a dot down here at negative 6. And then this one's a little tricky. Our x-intercept is 3/4. So we're going to have to go as close as we can on the x-axis. 3/4 would be approximately there. We're just going to come as close as we can. All right, and before I draw the line, let's look at the same equation, but in slope-intercept form. Same y-intercept, negative 6. And our slope is rise 8, run 1. Sorry, that was off screen. So y-intercept of negative 6 and rise 8, run 1 from our equation. All right. So from y-intercept of negative 6, rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, run 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, run 1. Okay, either way, whether we do it standard form or slope-intercept, our line ends up right here. Okay. All right, the second equation is already in slope-intercept form, so that'll be easier. We've got a y-intercept of negative 4, which would be right about here. And then the slope is rise 6, run 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, run 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, run 1. So this is kind of a horrible graph because they're like almost on top of each other. Just slightly different. Okay, and it's really hard to see it, but they do intersect right there at 1, 2. Okay, on the quiz, I've already made sure to avoid this scenario because in these situations it's really hard to see the point of intersection, the solution to the system. So on the quiz, definitely most things will be more like this where that solution point is a lot more obvious.